Yo guys, it's Sayers back with another video. It has been 5 or 6 days and I apologize for that. I've made some big progress on the account though. Mostly been up to date. I did miss one login day, which is unfortunate, but all in all it's kind of there. I was rank 6 actually before I missed the login. Now I'm rank 7. So not the biggest drop off, thankfully. I want to talk about some more stuff to aim for. I want to focus a lot on events today, but a lot of people have been asking about gems, equipment, builds, and PvP tips. So I will get to PvP at the end, but for now I want to talk about events. Right here, there's going to be timed events. Over here you can hit events, there's going to be something, usually at the end. Right now it's Spirit Treasure Trove. Should give a lot of great stuff. You can actually guarantee get all of these. So a lot of SSR shards, very good. Scrolls, very good. Over here you can find events. Some of them will not be glowing. For example, new server challenge I can actually do every day. And each one of these is going to give me enhancers. So I believe it's... you get a blue enhancer every single time you do this. So 5 times 4, 20. So you can get 20 HP enhancers every day. Not the biggest deal, but is a big source of them. So if you are like me, I'm always lacking on those compared to everything else. So these are quite helpful. As you can see, I did not bluff, guys. I was going all in on this sword here. It is very good, and I'm hoping to get it tier 2 pretty soon. I have it 3-starred. Now I'm going to focus on maybe starring up Cape of No Return to 2-star. These 3 I would say are the best artifacts for a free-to-play player. Cape of No Return I usually put last, because it's doing a little bit of damage and taking skill points from that person and putting it on your lowest skill point ally. It's also obviously when you do the new server challenge you're going to get Omamori fragments, and the higher you rank the more big rewards you get. And I find that doing these actually helps you understand damage. And what I mean by that is, these do basically no damage, so you might think, oh, let me take my SSR Yusuke off. But because he has that resonance with Kuwabara, giving Kuwabara more skill points, and he actually gives skill points to everyone off of his passive, keeping him in is actually usually good. Or, for example, my 3-star Kurama, it's doing this weird glitch where it's on like the second team of an event, so it's not showing at all. But this Kurama right here, when you activate his resonance, whenever damage is done to someone, I believe it's ability damage only actually, he's going to add his max HP to that damage, a percentage of it. So Dr. Ichigaki doesn't really hit hard, but when he's spamming his AoE ability, it's proccing that Kurama resonance damage so much against these 3 opponents that it's actually not bad whatsoever. So it helps you understand a bit more about damage, you know, like, hey, it's actually better to leave this Yusuke that does 0 damage because of the skill points. Or, you know, maybe it's better to take off Kibano and put in Ichigaki because it's single target or whatever, things like that. But just keep updated, because you'll even find things like tower training. This server got tower training really early, and not many people are getting many points. Now people are starting to get points finally, but if you just fail this 10 times, you actually get your daily coins. So you can get your daily coins from here, even if you just fail completely. It gives you some great stuff. You can get a ton of orbs, you can get targeted scrolls, very nice. So just make sure you're always popping into here saying, hey, is this new? What do I gotta do here? In the themed event that we have right now on the server, Dimension Sword Slash, we have this, we have to do a ton of damage. You get SP scrolls and enhancers based on it. Make sure you're on top of that. You're getting your Omomoris there. Just on top of every event is going to be how you get those SP characters fragmented up, you know, awaken, things like that. How you get a ton of SSR shards, orbs, whatever. Guild events like attacking in the war. The Demon Stronghold event, you know, other guild events. Shadow Pursuit, blah blah blah. And let me Gotta say how important it is one more time. For example, Peak Showdown, if I had not noticed it for a day or so, I would not have gone into the preliminaries and gotten a ton of these coins here, which gave me, I believe, 60 custom SP companion shards, which was huge for me. I actually ended up getting Kurama. Kurama isn't going to be amazing right now. He is on my team. But as we awaken him, he's going to be very good. Good for a lot of teams, things like that. I'm even going to get these enhancers. You get marks, whatever else. So if I had not seen, oh wow, this is actually out right now. Let me go do my preliminaries. Let me rank up. I would not have gotten all of that. So make sure you're looking at that, guys. Next thing to talk about is gems. If I look at some of my characters, I'm making sure that my highest rarity gems are going to either HP or attack usually. The reason is, Kuwabara, his skill, Momentum Suppression, scales off of Kuwabara's HP. So if you're fighting a big boss or someone with infinite HP, it's going to be capped at a certain percent of his HP. So I'm making sure that my SSR gem is getting HP from him. Or obviously I have him awakened at Awakening 3, so he's actually my second hardest hitter of an SP Yusuke, and it's actually pretty close. So I have this SSR gem for his attack as well, because he's a big damage dealer. And I have the anger gems on him, because he doesn't have anything like extra crit rate. We don't have like a ton of debuffs on the team. We don't have like a ton of buffs on the team. So just having him cast a skill, doing a ton of damage, you know, getting momentum suppression on people is going to be really nice. In terms of Yusuke, I just put on whatever. His star level's so low, it doesn't really matter. But I'll talk about some other gems in a second. Kurama, you know, his skill just does so much in terms of support, things like that. So that's why I've got the anger gems on him as well. If we look at Ichigaki, he's on my front line, and the reason is another quick tip here. People's attack, HP, defense, they're all very similar at, you know, certain star levels, right? Just because someone's big, burly, a tank character, doesn't mean they're going to have a lot of more HP, or they're going to be super tanky. It's usually something in their kit. So Ichigaki, as you can see, he has leveraging, where he takes 30% less damage. You know, with Awakening, it's all damage for 2 turns. So having him on the front line is not bad whatsoever. He's going to be tankier than Kurama. So I have the regen gems on him because we do a lot of skill damage on this team, so he's going to get healed up. And it's going to help his AoE damage, which is not too bad. You can also do Aegis, or is it Aegis? Where it gives him damage reduction based on how many people are alive. But I prefer the regen because I don't think he needs it. And the damage helps a lot. Roto, he actually gets additional crit rate. Because of that, we're putting on Radiance gems on him. Yusuke, same thing. And remember, Roto's Whirlwind is scaling off of his HP. So I make sure to have the SSR one on him, and he's frontline. And we have the SR HP Radiance gem on this Yusuke. In terms of other gems that are good, a lot of people like Valor in the late game because everyone gets like a million buffs, you know what I mean? All they need is 4 buffs, and then all of a sudden you have, you know, your crit rate and crit damage going up. A lot of people also like sharpness gems, but this is for very particular teams. What I mean by that is you need to have many debuffs. I'm talking SP Hiei, maybe SP Kuwabara, SP Genkai, things like that. Maybe Jin. I keep saying things like that, but I hope you guys know what I mean. Oh gosh. I accidentally did something to my screen. Hope you guys didn't see that. Other noteworthy things. Some people like unyielding gems on people who can revive. You know, Kurama. I don't even know if it works on Kurama though. When you get SSR Kurama 5-starred, he revives himself. Some people like unyielding on him. And regen gems are also very good on people who attack multiple times. So Sasuga, because of the regen gem, increases final damage. Some people will put it on Sasuga just so she can get a ton of final damage in her next turn as she's unloading 30 basic attacks. That's kind of a gem guide there. In terms of equipment guide, I'll look at special equipment here first. Just make sure that your characters you're going to use for a while are getting their special equipment upgraded. And in terms of regular equipment, a very good strat is to upgrade your biggest damage dealer's attack. And in this case, I have 2. And then characters that need HP, for example, Kuwabara, remember, his suppression scales off HP. We give him HP. Roto's Whirlwind scales off that as well, so we're giving him HP. And after that, I really like to focus on boots. Because boots are going to give you some crazy dodge rate, which is very nice, and soul energy and refinement. And I believe even when you get them from purple to orange, if you guys are at that step. So that's very good to do. And then I like to slowly, upgrade things to fine. So this blue right here, and level 12 refinement over time. Think of it as like this. You want to make sure that the biggest things, like attack, boots, if it's giving dodge rate, HP for certain characters, is done, and at a very high level. And then you want to focus on bringing other things that are not as necessary, like the headband, up to an average level. Hope that makes sense, but it's kind of up to you. I know a lot of people who said, screw everything. I'm just going to use everything I have possible. And I've seen it, and it works sometimes. On Yusuke, they'll get his wristband up to crazy levels. His gem will be upgraded all the way. His special equipment will be 4-starred, whatever. And they'll just hope that he will carry the entire team on his back with how much damage he's doing. And you could definitely do that for flexibility. I don't like to. I like to slowly build up stuff after I've gotten the important stuff like the legendary soul energy on my big attackers. But it's kind of up to you. Make sure you're reading as well. Like, sorry for going back to this, but if I develop this attack here, I can see, oh, at level 16, I get 5% crit rate. If I can get this to unparalleled tier 0, I can get 10% final damage boost. So make sure you're reading, seeing, okay, what's actually really good here? Maybe I want some hit rate. I keep missing my dang attacks. Maybe I want some crit resistance rate. I keep going against these Yusuke's and my frontliner keeps dying. It's all up to you. So we kind of covered events. We kind of covered new server challenge. Make sure you're taking note. What's actually doing the most damage, what isn't. Certain characters will be really good in some events for damage, some won't. For example, this Bowie event, we're versus 6 characters, right? So putting on someone like SSR Kurama for his resonance might actually do more damage than this comp. The reason is because there'll be a lot more AoE. Ichigaki and Kurama are going to be cranking out damage like crazy. Kuwabara is targeting 2 people, of course. So experimenting with stuff, understanding damage is important. And now let's kind of talk about PvP and lineups. First off, you guys got to go to the ranking. See the people ahead of you that are close in power, or maybe like a little bit below you that you want to challenge in arena or keep losing to in demonic tournament or keep losing to in the dark tournament. And you can actually click their profile and spar them. That will help you understand certain things like, hey, this guy, he has his SP Yusuke in the middle, and he's faster than me. So my SP Yusuke is in the middle as well, and he's just getting obliterated before he can even attack because his guy is going first. Maybe if I put SP Yusuke to the bottom right, put regen gems on Kurama, put him in the bottom middle, or Ichigaki, for example, because of his damage reduction. Maybe try to flip around certain characters to try and beat this guy. So the next time you go against him in demonic tournament, maybe you can finally win. But sparring is very important because you basically do not waste your banquet challenge, or you don't lose them in demonic tournament again, or whatever else. Again, guys, power is very important because that's going to decide speed as well. So what I like to do is I like to go in the collection book, do quick setup mostly, It's going to give you the max power if you do quick update. And then I use activate all of my memory stuff, usually on the legendary memory. And, you know, just keep increasing that power, going in the gallery when you awaken a UR, going in the star chart, spending it pretty much no matter what. Some people are saying, hey, you know, do I save up 30 collection stars for when I can finally get Star Soul? I wouldn't, simply because power is so important. Remember, guys, every single day there's an event. Every few days there's a ranking event, you know, server-wide event, zone event, rankings, and PvP. Going for power now is going to help you in the long run because you're going to rank higher in everything. And now let's kind of step towards PvP. I kind of covered events. Remember, guys, stay on top of that. Ooh, one last thing. In the treasure hunt, guys, I see so many people. Look at your odds. So I have a pretty low chance of getting legendary, so I'm going to go for epics. Go for what actually makes sense. So 2 intermediate enhancers is okay. But instead, I'm actually going to use all my cash. And I'm going to go for orbs on the advanced treasure. You know, you basically have infinite cash. Ooh, a legendary one. It's not great, though. Okay, here it is. This is 500 orbs in value. These 2 scrolls. Or the advanced orb one gives you 300 orbs. When the advanced scroll one only gives you 1 scroll, so 250 orbs. Make sure you're refreshing because these treasures can actually give you a lot of great stuff. Finally, we're going to cover PvP. We're going to cover lineups a bit. Remember, guys, spar people so you can kind of adjust where your lineups are. First thing is, you need to have some sort of carry on your team that you put in a lot. That you put a lot into, I mean. A lot of people, maybe they'll get 5-star Kuwabara. That's nice, you know, 1-star Awakened, whatever. There are going to be so many people you're versing who just have 6 characters that they're never going to swap off of ever until they're fully maxed out. When you're over here saying, okay, I'm going to chill, I got 5-star Kuwabara, I'm going to build, you know, for my next team. Let me go ahead and get this Rinku, put my shards towards him, put my shards towards Sasuga, and start building my next team. That guy who has the 3-star Awakened Kuwabara is going to smash you. Figuratively, okay? Not literally. But making sure that you have at least one character that is giving you a lot of power. You know, he has 1500k. A lot of, you know, usefulness. Like he's giving a lot of healing, doing a ton of damage. Or Yusuke here, I put a lot to get him 1-star Awakened. With the events, giving me shards and whatever else. Just so he can do a lot of damage. Is very important, guys. Just getting a full team of 5-star SSRs with like a few awakened SRs. It's not going to be enough for these guys who are never thinking about another team in their life. So that's the first important PvP guide, because that's going to give you a lot of power when you're focusing a specific character like Kuwabara here. The next thing is make sure your team makes sense. So if we look at this team, we have Yusuke because skill point reduction, skill point gaining for the team. We're not going to be able to really replace that until a bit into the late game, or mid to late game. We have Yusuke as our big damage dealer. Kurama we got from the Peak Showdown event. We got a ton of SP shards there, so we got him. He's going to apply debuffs, giving crit rate to Roto and Yusuke, making it almost guaranteed. We got Kuwabara. I'll talk about him in a sec. Roto just doing great damage. And Ichigaki doing some okay AoE damage, not really. But being very tanky and increasing our whole team's final damage. And as we upgrade him, he's going to be insane. Kuwabara we have here because of skill point reduction. His resonance makes it easier for him to get skill points when he has this Yusuke with him. So when he attacks, it's almost guaranteed he's going to do his skill after. Even if someone reduced your skill points on Kuwabara, he would probably still get his skill out after he attacks. That's why we have him in the first slot, so we can activate Yusuke's passive as fast as possible. Because let's say we put Roto here, right? We put Roto because whatever. if they reduce Roto's skill points, maybe they're faster and they also have SSR Yusuke, Roto's not going to be able to use the skill. That's why Kuwabara is so useful. Even if you're less fast, it's not completely over for you because you're going to be able to get Yusuke's passive off as well. And we have the Quick Strike character right next to him, so that's going to help out. So make sure your team makes sense. Or if you have, you know, Jin, make sure you have the Banshee Sword because it's going to give you trauma. If you have Jin, make sure you also have Risho because of the resonance. If you have Jin, make sure that, you know, you have other trauma characters that are helping you win. You got the good gems on him. You have the sharpness gems, I believe, is what they're called. Or for every debuff they have, you do more damage. Or you got that SPA. You don't want to mix and match. So for this team, we just have a classic team. High damage, skill point reduction, a lot of healing. It can do a lot. It's pretty flexible. But if you're going to go for a trauma team, you have to make sure everything in the team is helping out that goal. There is a little bit more I want to cover on Arena, or, you know, PvP in general, but I'm going to get to that in a later video. Just remember, guys, keep your power up. Keep buying your ramen. I can't stress this enough. Getting that extra XP, it adds up throughout the days. Getting extra levels, you know, you unlock certain things earlier. Maybe you get another daily quest. For example, I was one of like 3 people to unlock Demonic Tournament on a certain day because I was spamming ramen every day. And that helped me get a quest where I got some extra XP that day that no one else did, or, you know, 2 other people did, for fighting the Demonic Tournament. So just be on the lookout for that. Keep looking at new events. Keep shaping your team. You want to have at least 1 or 2 carries you've invested a lot in. And now, you know, is the time where I'm finally building towards Susuga and Rinku. They're in my wish list permanently. For targeted summoning, I have Ichigaki, actually. Because remember, at 3-star Awaken and 5-star Awaken, he's insane. But it's going to take a very long time to get there. I'm speeding up the process because whenever you hit on him, you actually get 90 shards instead of the regular 30 for an SR. Make sure you're saving things, not spending on, you know, things that are not very smart. For example, I didn't awaken my 3-star, my Botan to 3-star because I knew I would be awakening Kuwabara to 3-star the next day and I wouldn't have enough awakeners. And I was right. I was just able to barely get it off because I saved the ones from Botan. That's about all I have in this episode. You know, artifacts, pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going for one, and then now I'm going to slowly start to build this guy and this guy over time. Make sure you're ranking highly in events, spending whatever it takes, spending many soul energy shards as it possibly takes. I do not have that many whatsoever, but you need that power badly. Speed is very important. Ranking high is important. Good luck, guys. That's about everything I got for you in this episode. I will be uploading every day or 2 days from now on, so I'm sorry for the big break there. Any other questions you guys have, please leave a comment. I'll actually respond on time, this time hopefully. Sorry about that. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.